Peeps, morning there peeps. We're going to have a bit of a driving video this morning. I've just been to a coffee shop and thought we could have a quick chat about FPL in general, because I've been reflecting on today and I wasn't overly happy with my free hit chip. I mean, I've only got 65 points with 2 left, and it's not as many as a lot of other people have. But I'm not too bothered about it, because I've been thinking just how much I've been enjoying it this season. It's the most enjoyable season I think I've had for quite a long time. Every single week there seems to be some new kind of challenge thrown up, or a new strategy, you know. I mean, for example, I still have to play my assistant manager chip, so I'm already thinking ahead for the next 3 game weeks. There's just never time to actually just vegetate. Do you know what I mean? It's like really interesting the whole time. Right peeps, we're going up on a bit of a narrow road this, and there's a lot of cyclists about, so I'm going to have to try and concentrate a little bit, otherwise we're going to be in the ditch, you know what I mean? So we don't want that. Because look at this, you shouldn't even see me. Look, you're going to run in front of me, and it's going to be a lot of trouble. But I've been thinking just how much I've been enjoying it, and the other thing I've been enjoying is actually making the content as well, because that's been really enjoyable as well. Like, I don't put much effort into it, to be honest. I just sit down, turn on the computer, and that's about it. But it's really enjoyable, and I've met some really nice people through it, and there seem to be quite a few other content creators this season that are putting out more alternative kind of stuff, you know, like these driving, walking videos. The stuff that FPL Let's Have a Beer has been doing is absolutely really good. FPL Nightmare is another one who's putting out different kind of content, experimenting with different ways of doing it. And then there's Stevo and quite a few others, you know, Yelena with her vlogs. And it's added up to be quite an interesting season all round, I think. I'm finding it a lot more enjoyable than normal, because a couple of years ago, after COVID, I was pretty much almost giving up the game. I think I did give up one season. I didn't even finish. I just had enough of it. I think that was the season when all the games were played behind closed doors. Do you remember that? And there wasn't even a crowd. And there was fake crowd noise and all sorts of ridiculous things going on, you know. So, but this season they've got the pricing spot on, which has made an absolute huge difference. Massive difference, absolutely massive difference, I think. And even the new chip, although it's been heavily criticised, the assistant manager chip, it at least gives us more to think about, doesn't it? So that's what we need, peeps. As for, I just watched the Crystal Palace match. Palace winning 3-0. And that's peak FPL, isn't it? Sarr scoring twice. I think I owned him for a while. I owned him for about 6 or 7 weeks. I didn't have a single goal from him. I sold him. He immediately started scoring goals again after I sold him. So I bought him back. He hasn't had a single goal since I've bought him back in. Same with a lot of you, I guess. And then he goes and gets 2 goals in the FA Cup against Villa. It's just absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? I think he's been outscored by Eze every single week that I've owned him. And it's just peak FPL peeps. And that's why I'm not too bothered about the chip I played today, the free hit, because I picked 15 good solid options, and I just didn't have them in the right combination, basically. You know, I didn't start Sesame on, who, let's be honest, getting that goal 2 minutes into injury time is just a huge kind of flip of a coin game changer. I was having a great week until that one incident changed the whole complexion of the week for me. You know, it put me like 8-9 points back on everyone else and put them 9-10 points ahead. And it's just the way it goes. You know, I went with Cucurella, who really should have scored and got a 15-pointer. There's very little between them, except one came out 6 points ahead of the other one. So, you know, that's the way it goes. But looking forward, that Palace result isn't great for future double game weeks, because a Villard one, they could have had a double game week versus Tottenham because of the Europa League or whatever clashing in game week 37. But with Palace winning, there's a good chance that their game actually is just rescheduled back onto another day in game week 37, which means we might not even have a double game week. I don't think there's a guarantee that there's a double game week from the other FA Cup game that's on tomorrow either. So we could have a situation where there are no more double game weeks. So if you've still got your triple captain, that's not good news. If you've kept your free hit chip, because some people have, and some have kept the wild card, if you've kept these things, then you know, it's a lot less sort of opportunity now for them, isn't there? I mean, personally, I've got my assistant manager chip. If I don't get any double game weeks, it's going to make it difficult. Look at this corner here, peeps. This is difficult for me to get round. Oh shit! Scary, scary stuff. At least it was only a bike and not a car. Otherwise, I'd be in a bit of trouble. I think a bit of trouble there, peeps. Jesus, why is it so busy up here today? I don't know. I've come up here to go for a walk because I can't go for a run because I've done myself in. I was bored the other night and I did this, I watched this YouTube video, like an exercise, 30 minutes exercise in the living room type thing. And I did it, and I felt fine. But the next day, I couldn't move my legs. I don't know what I've done. I mean, one of the exercises obviously didn't agree with me too much. I'm a lazy prick, aren't I? I'm the only one in a car. All these people have cycled up here, you know, and I'm about 600-metre elevation above Christchurch. But I really don't like cycling. Can't stand it, people. Can't stand it. Right, come on, let's go around this corner. This is where I normally come for my trail runs. Same place we were the other day. Do you remember I was up here and we did that video where I couldn't get out of the car because the wind was so bad? Well, today there isn't any wind. It's quite nice up here now. It's quite pleasant. So we could get out for a wander. But yeah, if you've still got your chips, then the likelihood of a double game week 36 is kind of receded a little bit, I think. The other thing, of course, is now we don't need to get rid of our Palace players anyway, do we? I mean, if there isn't a double game week, I think we find out on Thursday, if there isn't a double game week, then you can keep or sell them or whatever, at least. You know, you don't have to keep them for a double game week, which is good. It's difficult going forward now to know what to do, because having to play an assistant manager chip is tricky, because I have to get rid of one of my City players, I think. It's very bad. I've done that very badly with that assistant manager. Very badly. But what can you do, Pete? What can you do? Now, I've been thinking as well, on a more general type of thing, about what I'm going to do next season, because I've got this YouTube channel and I'm thinking of doing something a bit more, what should we say, a little more adventurous, I guess, with it. Go and have a quick look down here. see what's happening. We were here the other day, weren't we? And I'll stop the video and just check on it, I think. Right peeps, I've got out the car. I'm going to go for a nice walk, I think, because I could go that way, there's a trail up that way, or I could go up here around the back of Sugarloaf, whatever it's called, the big TV mast. So which way shall I go? It's a bit more in shadow that way, so it might not be quite so good, you know. But what I was saying before about the YouTube channel and that, I have really enjoyed doing the stuff this season, especially that one in Wellington I did the other day. I really enjoyed doing that one because it got me out and about, and it was quite interesting. I thought I wanted to include some other stuff there, but the weather was just absolutely awful the whole time I was up there. And the chess tournament I played in didn't go great either, to be honest. The first day I was completely brain dead, and then I kind of picked up at the end and started playing really well, but it was kind of over by then. There we are, the Sugarloaf Reserve. I think they need a new sign, don't they? It's getting very old. What's this, peeps? Look. Got a big warning here about rock falls. Well, I'll tell you what, we had a 7.1 earthquake here about 10 years ago. Probably more than that now, isn't it? Probably more like 15 years ago. And it was really unstable up here around that time. Really bad. It was quite dangerous. A lot of it was closed off. So anyway, back to FPL, and it's pretty hard actually to find much to talk about, but I'm already starting to focus on next week rather than this week, because we get our old teams back, don't we? All of us that used our free hit chip, we're now getting all our old teams back again. I'm not sure I want my old team back. It's a bit of a shambles. The likes of Savinho, for example. And if I do want to use my assistant manager chip on Man City, then I have to take Savinho out to make a space for him. And that in itself is problematic, because I probably also want to take out Saka. I think a lot of people are taking out Saka. I think that Bournemouth match in the next round is sandwiched between their European games, and whether we want to keep Saka or not, I think is debatable, isn't it? I mean, a lot of people are going to want De Bruyne, but for me that's a big issue, because like I said, I've got my chip to think about, and if there's not going to be any double game weeks, it's very hard to find any other manager to play it on. You know, it's not a problem most of you have, is it? Because you've all obviously sensibly used yours already. But, you know, so it's difficult. It's almost tempting not to bother with it and just stick it on anybody and give it zero attention whatsoever. Oh, look, we can get a better view of Christchurch. You might be your peeps. Where are we? I should get a job with the New Zealand tourist board, shouldn't I? See, this is, we'll make it bigger. There's Christchurch down there. Quite a big place. There's a big sprawling place. Goes on and on and on and on and on. See that? That's Christchurch down there. Right down there. And this is like their adventure playground for Christchurch. Everyone comes up here to do their mountain biking and their running and all that type of thing, you know, hiking. There's a cafe, someone on a bike down here, and the road goes right up around. And a lot more mountain bikers there. There's a little mountain bike track just off this road. Loads of them, see that? This is Sunday morning, it's when everybody comes out. But we've only got 4 game weeks left now, 4 game weeks, and I'm quite looking forward to the finish line, to be honest with you. Although I've enjoyed it a lot, it takes it out of me, FPL, mainly because of the hours. You know, for example, last night, the Chelsea match started about midnight for me, and knowing it was on, there's no way I could sleep. So basically I've been up all night again. I think I've had 2 hours sleep, and this happens all the way through the season at the weekends. And you know, it's quite difficult, really. Quite difficult. But what can you do, peeps, when you're you know, when you, I won't say obsessed, but it's a great hobby and everything. And but it does get in your head. It's not just the FPL, it's just football in general. You know, when I know it's on, I just have to, here comes a trail runner, look. When I know it's on, I just have to watch it, basically. Which way are these two going? Wait and see which way they go. I might be in their way. Anyway, going the other way. So where should I go? Down here. So yeah, so it takes its toll, but I no longer get too wound up by having a bad score like I used to. Like, it's funny though today, honestly. I spent the whole day, the whole night, thinking I was having a really good game week and a really good free hit. All the way until the end. And then that goal from Sessegnon, in one single stroke, wiped out all the good from that free hit chip. Literally, you know, 11 points from nowhere. I think he would have been on 2, wouldn't he? Until then. And everybody seemed to own him. He was like the Twitter pick. But I did notice that in the overall standings, I think I only dropped 6,000. I think I dropped from 60k to 66k when that goal went in. So I think overall he's not too heavily owned. It's just in, you know, it's just FPL basically, isn't it? Not FPL, Twitter. Anyway, peeps, I'm off now. I'm tired. I'm talking rubbish, and see these plants around here. They're a bit, I don't know what you'd call them really. But it looks a bit different from where most of you guys live, I guess. It looks very scenic, but the trouble is there's nothing here. You know, if this was the UK, I better go and get an ice cream and all that sort of thing. Whereas up here, it looks like a postcard, but there's not actually much down there, you see that? Like if this was the UK, it would be full of little boats and people out on the water and all that type of thing. But here it's just a bit sort of empty, I guess. Well, there are a lot of people up here today. Anyway, peeps, I'll talk to you all later. I'll come back at the end of the game week, and I'll also have a look at what to do next week. So it looks a bit middling next week. There's no real standout fixtures. I think it's because Leicester are playing Southampton, aren't they? So it kind of cancels out good fixtures for other people, really. There's nothing really stands out. It's difficult to know who to buy, but we shall see anyway what happens. And of course we've got the FA Cup game tomorrow. So anyway, peeps, I'll talk to you all later, and cheers for now.